And you'll also notice that they were both advanced in years. That's a nice way of saying they were as old as dirt. All right? The King James says it the best. I mean, they're just old as dirt. And but that's very important because this couple had been proven. They were righteous people. They were obeying God. They were following God. They had this huge burden that they hadn't had any children. I mean, when Liz got in a fight with her sisters, they would say, "You can't have any children because God hates you. If you had married a better husband, you would have children." I mean, all these sorts of things. They bore this reproach, not for a year, not for 2 years, for many years, and they had aged together and bared this shame together. But you know what it does? It proves that they're genuine followers of God. You know, there's a problem in our day. Our day is like, somebody hears the gospel, maybe they're a celebrity or something, and this person's on TV or this person's a singer, and they heard about Jesus, they believe in Jesus, so we should put them on all the, showcase them in every way. Friends, I'm just going to tell you, that's dangerous. 1 Timothy talks about don't give someone a place of position in the church family until they've been proven. You know how you get proven? Time. Time proves really what you are. These folks, proven. Right in the margin of your Bible right there, James chapter 1 and verse 12. Listen to these words. James talks in that first chapter about considering it all joy when you encounter various trials, knowing the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its perfect result. Why? That you might be perfect, complete, lacking in nothing. Now listen to verse 12. Blessed is a man who perseveres under trials. In other words, got a trial, childless, and they're persevering under that. They're not shaking their fist at God. I mean, they're feeling it like maybe God doesn't care. No, we know that God cares. Maybe God's forsaken us. No, God doesn't forsake his children. Maybe God's just indifferent. No. Maybe God's powerless. No. God's created the heavens and the earth. I mean, these are all the struggles that you're going to go through, that they're going through. But listen to these words. Blessed is he who perseveres under trials, for once he has been approved, once he's been proven, he'll receive the crown of life which the Lord has promised to those who love him. You know what happens when you're proven? What it's proving is that you really do love God. Do you remember the guy by the name of Abram? And he had a son. His name is Isaac. Remember, he had that boy when he was 100 years old. His wife was barren. God had made a promise 25 years earlier. You're going to have a son. You're going to have a great nation. And he kind of like given up hope. And God says next year at this time you're going to have a baby. And so they have a baby. And the boy is, now a teenager. And God says to him, go up and offer him on Mount Moriah, Genesis 21. And so he takes his son on the 3 days journey, and it's like mulling this over. He's the promised kid. Now, how am I going to offer him as a sacrifice? And you remember he builds the altar, and he ties Isaac up, and he puts him on the altar, and he's about ready to stab him. And it's like, what are you doing? And God says, stop. Now, God didn't do that for his good because he can see what's in the heart of man. God did that for our good. James chapter 2 says that 17 years earlier that he had believed God, that God would give him a son, and his faith was counted as righteousness. But how do you know the righteousness that is in his heart? 17 years later, now he's willing to offer his son to obey God. Listen, friends, obeying God isn't easy. And the question is, do you love God more than you love these things? Remember when Jesus was with Peter? Peter, do you love me more than these? And he's pointing down at the fish. Now, if you're a fisherman, you understand the importance of that, right? The disciples are out there fishing. Didn't catch anything all night. Jesus comes walking along the beach, says, hey, throw the net on the other side. They throw it on the other side. There's this great catch. They're pulling it in. They're sinking the boats. John looks at Peter and says, it's Jesus. Oh, it's Jesus. He's alive. He takes off his garment, jumps in the water, swims up. Water's dripping off his nose. And Jesus looks at him and says, Peter, do you love me? Oh, Jesus, you know it. And he goes through this whole thing. And then he points to the fish. Do you love me more than these? Do you love me more than your job? All right, you guys know what I'm talking about? Do you love me more than your job? I mean, how many people love their jobs more than they love God? And Peter's convicted. Friends, that's what this couple is. They're special. They're righteous. They've got a real trial, tribulation, but they're proven. Be proven for the glory of God. Special people are proven genuine in the long run. Be proven genuine for God.